Hello everybody. How's everything is going? My name is Ghost Senpai, and also known as Unfanamas, and welcome to a new match on the Pepsiman Any Tournament. I'm pretty excited here to be talking about this this match about this tournament. This is the second match we have from the round one, the last one that we need to complete. We have got another match on the weekend, and unfortunately, we're gonna have three matches in total. But unfortunately, one of the runners decided to leave the Discord server of the tournament, so we don't have a way to communicate with them. But the important thing is that we have the last match from round one here: jonathanirvings against the Flying Marlin, one of the new potential newcomers to the game. jonathanirvings that has a PB of 20 minutes flat, if I remember correctly. Flying Marlin, yes, Jonathan Bridges has a 20 minutes flat PB, while Flying Marlin has 90 minutes and 26 seconds PB. Flying Marlin hasn't got a new PB since 3 years ago. He's having one of the veteran runners of the game. And Jonathan Bridges has been doing an amazing job recently. So, once one, there was not so many things to mention here. It's a pretty simple stage. It's a kind of, okay, you need to understand how the game works and you need to learn some basic mechanics. So the way that we're going to be doing this is likely faster because you can consider this as a, um, Pepsiman is basically a kind of auto-scroller. So the only way that you can optimize this is just to going pressing the dashing button during all the race. Plus, at the same time, I have noticed something interesting is that a lot of the runners are not using the dashing and jump strategy because if you jump, you can slightly go a bit ahead. So if you time correctly your dashings and jump at the same time, you're gonna be gaining a small amount of speed, of extra speed, and you can go a bit further away on the game, which is pretty interesting. But anyways, now we enter into the Pepsi Man Pro Skater section. This is really important to don't receive damage because here we are on a one-hit KO section, which if any of the runners receive damage, they need to start back from the last checkpoint they have got. I think that they got the last checkpoint of this section. Ooh, Jonathan was a bit close to receive damage. He jump a bit late in order to be able to skip that section, that last section, because otherwise, if he had jumped slightly late, he was gonna fail there, and that was gonna be something really bad. I'm really glad that he hasn't received damage, so we are good with that. Well, now we enter into the Pepsi barrel section. Looks like, I don't know, we have or something like that. Here's nothing on my side. Yeah, well, the music that was being playing earlier was was the was, now we're gonna be listening to. I don't know why Primary was having audio, but he definitely had before we began with the race. So I have switched audios on a bit. We should be having that. If everything is okay, I'm just trying to fix what I have done with the synchronization because I messed it up there. Oh well, that should be fixed up. So going back to the. Oh, okay, never mind. I was. I don't know. On this one, and like not too much about it. Wasn't a way to just skip everything and you are done. I don't know if the Flame Marlin timer is going more faster than it should. So I have tried to synchronize this. Anyways, we're timing this on race time, that shouldn't be a problem. So we are on, I think this is San Francisco, the second stage of the game. I never learned which cities are those ones. And we're reaching the bridge section, which is a complicated section of the stage. Looks like jonathanirvings is catching some Pepsi cans. This is as a backup for a race. It's kind of good because 70% you try to skip as much Pepsi cans as you can because you lose a small amount of time when you finish a stage and you have to collect Pepsi cans. But with every 25 Pepsi cans when you finish a stage, you get an extra life. And I consider that's something really good because later in the game we will need them. We will need that as a backup strategy. Well, now both of the guys have reached the end of the stage. Really good. I'm gonna use this on my side in order to try to synchronize the streams. But I don't know, I thought that I have synchronized this correctly, but looks like I don't know if I have done this bad or TheFlyingMarlin timer is faster or there's some a problem with it. There's a problem with any of this streams with this guy. Well, please. Now we go into the sewer. I'm pretty sure that we don't need to do stuff like that, like what Pepsiman has done. But anyways, continuing to the V-2, trying to skip some Pepsi cans is gonna be slightly complicated. Plus, we have few sections when we can run or walk or dashing or whatever we need to do in order to control Pepsiman. So we need to be really careful in some sectors in where we're moving. The camera doesn't help us so much on this first section, but well, this is a pretty short section. The important one is going to be the next one. And now we are on the train rail, so it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, looks like there's a problem with timers of these guys. But anyways, let's ignore that and let's keep going. Okay, Jonathan is moving slightly safe here because he's not dashing so much in the sections where there are a lot of the enemies. That's something good. We're on a race, so taking safe straps is not something bad anyways. Let's see how this last section is gonna be with jonathanirvings, because in my match on the Saturday, the emulator decided to troll me on this section, which was really bad. Let's see also how the trolling is going to be doing everything again. So, well, in the plot of the game, there's some stuff you need to do in the first stage. The only Pepsi truck got a flat tire, and the driver doesn't know how much time it's going to take to him to repair that. And, well... Oh, TheFlyingMarlin taking that is taking that some 2-2. I haven't paid attention to that, unfortunately. It looks like he's getting a pretty bad time there. Looks like 2-2 is kinda cursed for the tournament. It looks like, because I also got a lot of problems on this stage, which is really rare. It's not supposed that you get problems here, but looks like the game is not cooperating with TheFlyingMarlin today. And now, jonathanirvings is facing the second boss, the red pizza truck, because yes, the pizza franchise uses trailers, trucks in order to deliver the pizza, right? Well, on this second stage, okay, jonathanirvings done that correctly. Now it's time for TheFlyingMarlin to do the same. The differences here are that, well, TheFlyingMarlin he has lost some lives. I don't know if he's gonna be trying to catch some Pepsi cans on next stages in order to refill a bit his life amount. If any runner die, that's not gonna be a big problem at all because they can continue on the stage they have died, but they need to start from the beginning. Now, we're in the middle of the desert. On the last stage, we have tried to refresh some people that were on a building that was caught on fire because the fire was under control, but they don't know how much time it's gonna take to the firefighters to rescue people. And okay, that was a pretty clean truck section in 3-1. It's you need to do this very precisely in the way that you need to do a specific amount of dashes and like movements in order to be able to keep going and not receiving damage. And BG Barnes has done this really well. And now we are on the wood truck section. I don't know exactly if I can say if this is RNG or not because I haven't really paid attention to it. But look like patterns are different all the time. Not a big deal. If you see that one of the woods are like bouncing, you need to make a performance slide. Or if it's close to the floor, you need to jump over them. But if you're lucky and you have a good timing, when the ones that are pretty lower on the floor and are not bouncing, you can perform and slide, and you're gonna be able to slide above them. So with that, you're gonna be performing a swag slide. Looks like Marlin. I don't know. He was trying to make the truck skip, but unfortunately he has received damage on this section. This is gonna cost him an extra amount of time. Yes, for some reason looks like I cannot synchronize the streams. Something is gonna be hiding the TheFlyingMarlin timer for now. So I'm pretty sure that I have applied some delay to this timer, but looks like the system is not recognizing that. I'm gonna add that extra amount of time. Let's see if that synchronizes, because it looks like today the system doesn't want to work properly. And well, if you catch at least one Pepsi can, and the end we're gonna be having this chime when the game saves new record twice, because the first one is gonna be for the Pepsi cans, and the second one for the timer. Unfortunately, we cannot skip the one with the timer unless we do this really slow, because we're beating the default time that the game has. And in order to run this properly, what do you need to do is that you need to use a fresh file in the game, so that's something that we cannot avoid, unfortunately. Now the park section on 3-2, this is really tricky because you need to make specific inputs to don't die here, mostly on this bridge section, which are really tiny. Oh, Jonathan was really close to the left. I thought that he was gonna die. Dude, that was a good explanation, a good showcase about how to do this. I really like that. I really like how she has done that. I also hope that Marlin can do something that is gonna be really amazing. And now we're on the minecart section, and it looks like bot runners are playing on emulator, and this is good because if you play this on a console, for some reason, this section is pretty dark, and you need to turn up your brightness on the screen. Oh well, some people say that it's dark. I played this when I was a kid and I don't remember that as being so dark, but at least on emulator it looks really clear, so that shouldn't be like a problem. And there we go on this third stage, and let's see how Marlin does it. Oh no! Marlin died on the last section of the barrel section of this stage. That was really bad, but okay, taking another death, and he doesn't have an extra life, so he needs to continue in the game. It's gonna put him more behind Evan in the race, unfortunately. But as I've said before, you can continue in the game if you die. So there's like a stage an advantage between Jonathan and Marlin. But we need to cheer both of these guys. Both of these guys are amazing runners. And well, these are the kind of problems that also you can get on runs. 3-2 is one of the first pace killers. The big massive pace killers of the game. Even people with a lot of experience used to have problems on this stage in 3-2. Sometimes in 3-1, but 3-2 model with this barrel section is where the things get more and more complicated. And well, now Jonathan brings with the third boss of the stage. This is hard at the beginning, but the good thing about this boss is that the pattern is the same all the time. You shouldn't be worried about if the pattern is changing or something like that. You need to try to memorize which sections at which moments where the woods are going to appear. Something I used to do is that I use a cue sound in order to know when those things are going to be spawning. And well, An emergency landing was made on the desert. Nobody in most of the game, nobody was hurt or killed. So while people is fine, they need to. The army doesn't know how much time it's gonna take to them to rescue those people. So Pepsiman needs to do something in order to try to reverse them. And unfortunately, Marlin taking another death on the game now in the mine section. Something I need to also talk about and that I haven't forgotten to mention is that you need to be careful with your dashings, because after you finish the dash, you're gonna be having some frames where you cannot perform a new one. And if you haven't done that properly in versus section where you need to make a dashing, or also if you need to make a higher jump, the game is gonna drop your momentum. So there's a good chance that you can die there. Unfortunately, it looks like that was what happened to Marlin. That had made it he died here on the barrel section, unfortunately. And well, Jonathan is having it's kind of a good pace in the fourth run. It was decent. It wasn't the worst of all. And now he's still taking Pepsicans. I'm really amazed that at the stages where he got extra lives, he got 25 Pepsicans exactly. Well, I haven't seen when he got his 5th life. But that's not the first one that I have seen. He got 25 Pepsicans, which I don't know, which is really cool. Has some swag because again, every 25 Pepsicans you're gonna be getting an extra life. Also, something that can help the guys, the runners, as reference on these boss stages is that you can see that on the top right section of the screen, there's like a kind of I don't know if I can say that's a map or a meter. Well, it's something that tells you how much you have in order to complete any stage. So this is something really good because with this you can get an idea about how much time it's gonna take to you to finish these stages. So unfortunately on boss stages there are no ways to optimize this properly unless you just don't receive damage and can skip really quick a cutscene. Well, now we are on the Pepsi factory, on Pepsi City on Forest 2, because the plot of this stage is that the main computer in the Pepsi City went out of control, and if that's not solved, we're gonna be running into a shortage of Pepsi around the world. So Pepsiman needs to do what Pepsiman knows how to do. And there we go! Flying Marlin getting the truck skip! Interesting, that's really amazing to see on a tournament. So what happened there with that skip is that if you receive damage at the proper specific section, you're going to be having some invisibility frames, so you can use that on your side in order to perform a dashing and avoid this Pepsi truck, saving a little amount of time. That was really amazing to watch. Now jonathanirvings being on the last. Sorry, jonathanirvings. I don't know why I was pronouncing that not correct way. I really apologize about that. And also first try for jonathanirvings. I'll say Jonathan just in order to have problems. So Jonathan here, just getting the last section of Forest Shoe on the first attempt. And this is widely known as the most hardest section of the game, speedrunning talking. So even if you have seen this game in marathon, you will see that usually runners keep quiet on this section because they need to try to focus here, because the inputs here are more precise rather than the barrel section on 3-2, because we have very tight walls in order to complete the section. Now we are on the last boss fight, which is again the Pepsi can we have seen on the first stage, but now it's throwing some kind of medium. I don't know if I can say small. I don't know if I can refer to this as small Pepsi cans. Again, the pace is the same. You just need to be aware about when these things are going to be spawning, because as you have seen, some of the Pepsi cans are flying on the screen. So that's a signal that if you jump where does that appears, you're gonna be you're gonna be receiving damage, and this stage, if you receive damage, you're gonna be closer to the boss, and that's gonna be really awful. And time for Jonathan, and at the same time, it's a PB, considering his time on the leaderboard. He has a 20 on the leader, 20 flat time on the leaderboard, so this means that in case that Jonathan hasn't done any other run below this time, he has got a new PB, so GG's for him. This was really good. And now it's time to switch to Marlin, okay, that, well, same time he's doing his best in order to complete it. Now he's on the Pepsi factory and for -2. Unfortunately, it looks like we have no sound here for him, so I'm just gonna be putting the gameplay list in this case. I don't know why he's not having audio. He was having audio before. I don't know if his sound is pretty low, but anyways, now we are on the artist section with him on this stage, and there we go. We have got it. We have completed also this section on the first attempt. That was really, really good to watch at the same time. I'm really impressed about that both of these guys were able to do this section on the first attempt, because again, you need to put a lot of attention, and you need to be really, really focus on these parts of the game. Yeah, so anyways, I'm really happy, I'm really glad that both of these guys were able to complete the last section for the Sugar Problems. Now it's time to see TheFlyingMarlin how this everything's gonna be going with the last boss with TheFlyingMarlin. So the time finishes when you lose the control of Pepsiman, which is when the game turns into the widescreen mode. So it was a I forgot what I was gonna say. Sorry about that. And well, the reason why the Pepsi cans are skipped because this is the any person category, and the most Pepsi cans you get, the more time you're gonna be losing at the end of the stage, because the stage makes a countdown about how much Pepsi cans you have got. And GG is also for TheFlyingMarlin, and he has made an amazing job. This is not the end for Marlin. He's gonna be moved to the losers bracket. So he's gonna be having another chance on the game. So because this is a double elimination tournament, so GG's for both of them. And I'm gonna see if we can have them for an interview. Oh, okay, looks like Jonathan Virgin's timer was slow because he got a 1951. He's mentioning that on race time. Anyways, we have the race timer on race time, so that shouldn't be a problem. So I'm gonna be letting him know that he got that issue with his timer. I'm gonna let him know that and can work. Now, both of the runners agreed to have an interview. We're gonna be having them on a bit here on Discord. So, how have you seen the race, people? I really hope you have enjoyed it. And if you're planning to run Pepsiman, we have a public Discord in order to help anybody who is interested in running this game. It's a pretty good and short game, as you have seen. And if you practice on a medium level, you can get a sub 25 really easy. Optimizing the game in order to have a sub 20 is a real challenge here. So if you want to learn any of the categories, feel free to join to our Discord server. I think that Pepsiman Common has not only the the bracket link, but also has a Discord invite, a link for our server, and on the speedrun.com. Sorry, I don't know why I was saying that in Spanish. Speedrun.com leaderboard. You can get an invite link for our server, and well, we also focus on Pepsiman Any Drink, which is a fan game of this, and we can provide help for any person, 100% and kids 10%, which this last category maybe if you have seen this game on any speedrunning marathon, you have seen this category, because usually it's the most submitted category for marathons, well the kids and person is submitted as an incentive. So now we have here jonathanirvings. So hi Jonathan. First I want to apologize because I was pronouncing bad your name, and on a really late state I know that I was saying that in a pretty bad way. So hi Jonathan, what's up? How you doing?
Okay, yeah. Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I the first thing I want to say is GG for you. You have made an amazing job. It was a good race. So you have said that you got a 1951. You said that on race time. So it looks like live split was running slow on your side.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was my PB actually, 1951. So my live split has two, like game time and real time, right? So the game time was, I don't know, it's supposed to be stopped on loading, but it doesn't really stop, but it's actually running slower when it's loading. And yeah, you should have cropped the real time instead. It's got 1951, but I think you cropped the game time, which was running slower when it's loading. So yeah, but yeah, it's
maybe due to that is when I got confused, because the timer should have stopped on loading times. I will have something that I have cropped the one timer. So well, looks like it was my mistake at the end. So well,
yeah.
Anyway, so I want to make another question. You said you got a 1951, but on the leaderboard you have a 20 seconds flat time. So is this a new PB for you?
Right. Yeah. That's my new PB. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, congrats. It's really nice when on this kind of events you get a live PB, so GG's for that also. It was a good work. So in general, how have you felt on the race? I've seen that you have made some small mistakes, and I don't know exactly if you have made some safe strats in the game. Because I felt that on 2-2 you were doing some safe movements on the train section, but I'm not quite sure about that. So have you went for safe strats, or what have you done in general? How you feel about the race in general?
Right, yeah, there are some sections where I intentionally do not dash because I'm trying to play it safe in 2-2, and then in some sections in the mine in 3-2 as well, I do not run. I think in the middle part of the mine section, I purposely do not run there. So regardless, even when I play this safe, I sometimes died. I think my 20 minutes PB was the first time I got deathless run, and this is probably my second time. So I'm glad that in this setting I managed to get deathless run, and it's even better than my PB. So I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, and that was really good also to don't die here, because it looks like Marlin was having the same problems I had on my match on Sunday, because both of us got problems on 2-2. Looks like that's a good stage to be nominated as the cursed stage of the tournament, but this is a really early stage. We have got all the matches from round 1. We're gonna get a 3 at the beginning, but unfortunately it looks like one of the runners decided to leave the Discord server. We have been trying to get in contact with them, but looks like unfortunately we got a drop. So in this case, well, since it's a double elimination tournament, Marlin was sent into the loser bracket, but since their opponent is, we don't have a way to communicate with them, she's gonna be moving directly to loser round 2. And well, in general, I have another question. Have you practiced in the past the truck skip, or simply you don't know how to do it, or you decide to don't try to do this strat? Because again, I have felt that in some sections where you should go and try to do some kind of faster strats, I felt like you made some safer movements. I don't say that this is bad, I also do this, but I don't know, I'm kind of curious because there are some things that I don't know exactly about some runners. So have you played the game as you usually do, or have you tried to do some safe movements in some sections? Mainly
Right,
I can
yeah,
say that I have noticed this on 4-1 and 4-2. You move slightly safe.
Yeah, I was aware of the drug skip mechanism. Yeah, I watched the Monch game I think earlier this week, and he managed to do it in 4-1, the 4-1 drug skip. Yeah, I was aware, but never really practiced on it because yeah, as I mentioned before, I don't get many deadless runs. I'm trying to be consistent and try to play it safe yet. For now, so once I probably get better, I'll try these other tricks. But yeah, for now, I'm just aware of it, but I don't know how to do it or practice it yet. So yeah.
And this was your first deadless PB, or have you got any deadless PB in the past?
No, my 20 minutes one is a deadless as well.
Okay, but again, it was really good. This was a 9 seconds PB, so GG's again. You're gonna be facing, well, not Munch for now, but you're gonna be facing Emilio on the second round. So you have anything you wanna mention about that, or any words you wanna give to Emilio?
Yeah, yeah, they're great players. I actually did not expect to win a round because I'm the lowest seeded player actually. Like before the bottom one, this unfortunately uncontactable. But yeah. I mean, even when I got lucky, like I should say that today I got lucky because it's my PB. I think for those players, even if I got PB, I don't know. I can't say I can beat them because they are players who got like 18 minutes or like even low 19 in tournaments. So, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Right, so again, GG's for all of this and good luck on the rest of the tournament. But the interview doesn't finish here because we also have the Flying Marlin here with us. Hi Marlin, what's up? How you doing?
Hey, good morning or afternoon or evening for everybody.
Yeah, good morning on this side of the world also. And well, GG's also for finishing this. I can say that I understand yes, some of the pain that maybe you have feel on 2-2 because looked like that stage wasn't so good with you, and also as I was mentioning with Jonathan before, in my match I also got some problems on that stage, and well, what happened there? I'm pretty curious about what was happening on your mind when 2-2 decided to be a bit troll with you.
Which stage are you talking about?
2-2.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, usually I'd say that might be my best stage because, for me personally, that's the easiest one to get no cans on. I think I just let my nerves get the best of me because, in 2-1 on the bridge, that really tripped me up a lot during practice because, that like one small mistake can, or even just one dropped input can like really mess up a whole run. But I felt like I did that pretty well this time. But then I think I just let my guard down. I didn't think I'd have a lot of trouble with 2-2, so I didn't practice it as much, which I think came back to bite me.
Yes, in
And I
general, the nerves.
think know I think the same is true with the barrel in 3-2. because whiff, so I kind of let my guard.
Okay, what looks like TheFlyingMarlin was having some connection issues, but well, in general, for what I was able to listen here, yes, on this kind of events, again, the nerves plays an important role, and yes, just shouldn't be like a stage where you should get a big problems in order to beat it. But again, you can get nervous sometimes, whenever you practice or not. We need to consider the human factor that can make that sometimes we mess up a bit some things, but at the same time with Marlin, it was really amazing to watch to see the truck skip on 4-1. So
Yeah,
this was one of the recent strats that had been fun on recent months on the game. So well, I think that on 3-1 you tried also to go for the truck skip, but you weren't able to do it. But on 4-1 you were able to do it. So
yeah,
if I'm correct with that, how can you define the difficulty level between both stages when you try to make the truck skip?
So the only truck skips that I've actually been able to attempt are the big log truck skip in 3-1, which saves a whole bunch of time, and then the truck skip in 4-1. I think I sort of tried to go for I was thinking about going for the truck skip in 3-1, but I just I realized that that would in free practice when I do free practice and try to do it, you have 100 lives and I only do it 3 or 4 times because it's really tricky. You have to do it just at the right moment. So I'm not really confident in my ability to do that in a marathon or race setting. But that is something on my list of things to do. But the 4-1 I feel is a lot safer because it's a pretty short skip anyway. But yeah, as far as truck skips are concerned, I think I just really got to be concerned about grinding the game in general before learning the new speed tech.
Well, in general, okay, go ahead.
But yeah, 4-1 truck skip. I've had trouble with that sometimes because you got to hit the debris in just a certain way that you don't start rolling, because that animation takes more time.
Yes, I think I also agree with that with the truck skip. But again, it was really amazing to see you getting in on the tournament. But well, this is not the end for you. This is a double elimination tournament, so you will be sent to the losers bracket. But the person who is supposed that you want to be facing there looks like has forfeited the tournament because they left the Discord server and there's no way that we have in order to get in contact with that person. So that makes that you're gonna be moved directly to the second round of the losers bracket, and you're gonna be waiting in the match between Hooper and Munch to see who of them loses. So you're gonna be facing them here. There. So well, now just to finish this, any words that any of you guys have for each of you?
Yeah, I guess for my next round, I just gotta grind as much as I can for the next round, because obviously it's between Hooper, who's I believe the world record holder, yes, and Monch, who has just beat my PB. I saw in the Discord, and also has just been like doing so much in terms of finding new speed tech and stuff. So that's going to be an interesting match to watch, and it's going to be tricky for me. But I just think I just got to, grind as much as I can and just get consistent and put on a good run.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a good faith that you're gonna be able to do something better. And I mean, you have to make it a very good showcase of the game during the race. Unfortunately, there were some moments where nerves were a bit troll. But anyways, it was. I think that definitely your run was better than mine on Sunday, so that was really good. And well, you're gonna be having a good amount of time to practice, and also I'm gonna be doing the same because I need to wait and the match between Emilio and Jonathan to see who are gonna be facing on the losers bracket. And well, I think that this is the end of the interview. Again, GG's guys, you have made an excellent work, and I wish you the best luck for the rest of the tournament. We need to remind people we just have begun with this tournament, so we're still having a good amount of matches to see later. And well, if nobody has something additional to mention, I'm just gonna say goodbye, see you, have a nice day, or if it's late on where you are, but remember to put some sugar on your pillow before you go to sleep. And also, the last but not less important, have a Pepsi.
Have a Pepsi.
Pepsi.
See you, everybody.
Only my choice. See ya.